championship here at the World Series of Poker. It's always an exciting time. It's always a great event. Always great to get new ladies here at the World Series to compete, play against each other, have a little social time, but most importantly to win some money and the gold bracelet, and to forever be an ambassador for this great event that we all love. I'm going to cover a few rules, and then I'm going to bring you some very special people up on the stage to get things kicked off today. So first of all, you guys are playing No Limit Hold'em. You get 5,000 in chips. We play 1 hour levels. We take 20-minute breaks every 2 levels. You will have a dinner break today after level number 6, which will be approximately 5:40, 5:45 p.m. tonight. We will resume play approximately 7:10, 7:15 to play an additional 4 levels with a break in between. And those of you that make it through 10 levels of play today will resume tomorrow at noon in the Amazon room to continue on down to the final table and then on to win the bracelet on day number 3. So I wish all of you the best of luck in that journey. One thing you should keep in mind as you're playing, we have a few rules. Of course, our complete set of rules can be found at WSOP.com and downloaded right to your smartphone. We have a hard copy if you need one, but it's several pages, so it's a lot easier to look on your phone for those. But there are a few that you should be aware of as you're playing today. Please remember, you must be at your seat by the time the final player receives a complete hand, or you will have a bad hand. You may use your cell phone to text, tweet, email, Facebook, update the world using our chip-in app. Any of those good things, as long as you do not have cards in front of you. But to make or receive a call, please make sure that you step away from the table to do so. If your table breaks or you're asked to move, do not put any chips in your pocket. Do not conceal your chips. Do not take your chips off the turn floor. Any concealed chips could be removed from play. You might face disqualification. So just keep them in plain view. Move into your new seat. All of that is very, very easy. And of course, we do track all penalties. So if you do break the rules, you might get a penalty, but we know that you're not because you're going to be following all the rules. So outside of that, I want you guys to have a really, really good time in playing this event. Play competitive, play hard, but play fair. So to kick things off, I just want to have the placement of the button, which will be in the 10 seat and with 25-50 blinds, but we're going to leave that off to the side for the next folks who are going to come up and get things started. So who is coming to join us on the stage this morning? Well, 2 very special people, but I'm going to introduce the first, and this next lady is going to introduce the second. So the lady that I'm going to introduce to you is pretty much a legend around the World Series of Poker. Some of you know her, some of you don't know her, but the people that know her very well. But also, she knows you if you know her, if you know what I mean. Now, she was a legendary player at the world-famous Mayfair Club, which was a popular poker club in New York City back in the 80s. And it was which the movie Rounders was based on. So if you've ever seen the movie Rounders in that club, you know that that was the Mayfair Club. And so she became a regular in that game, and she was playing with Eric Seidel, Jason Lester, Howard Leonard, and Dan Harrington during their prime and coming up in the game. Now, she was also one of the first ladies to ever cash in the main event of the WSOP. So in 1986, she became the first woman to cash in the main event, and in 1993, with the aid of an oxygen mask, she was the first woman to do it twice, days before a major surgery. She also holds the distinction of the first woman to final table a major poker championship, 6th place at the Binion's Hall of Fame tournament in 1988, and in 1990 she was the first woman to win a championship event in a European Open poker event. Now between 1986 and 2009, she cashed the WSOP events 7 times during her spare time. But beyond all these great things that she's done in the poker world, her knowledge and experience extends beyond the felt. She knows all sides of gaming. She is a legal and business consultant. She's an advisor to casino boards as a government official and advisor. She is also a former blackjack counter and, of course, a professional poker player various times in her career. I know that she also was the assistant to Rudolph Giuliani in New York City, so she knows a little bit about just about everything. She's had a biography on A&E. She's been featured in the New York Times. She's written hundreds of poker articles. She's been a great advocate for the World Series of Poker over the last 30 years. And the last thing I will say is that she's probably the only person in the world who really knows where Jim Hoffa is. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please welcome the wonderful Miss Wendeen Eolis.
I'm exhausted and it wasn't a eulogy. Thank you for the warm and affirming words, and even more for the privilege of standing in this space with a terrific group of women. There are many women in this room and beyond it who have made extraordinary contributions to the world of poker that far outshine my abilities or my involvement in the poker world. And I'd like to recognize some of those people by asking how many people in the room have been a World Series of Poker bracelet champion. Would you please rise and make yourselves known to all of your table mates? And some of you wonderful women are members of the Women's Poker Hall of Fame. You are heroes to all of the women and heroines to all of the women who care to succeed in this last bastion of scratch and stick, male rugged individualism. You are the best. With the ladies who are in the Women's Poker Hall of Fame, please stand and make yourselves known to your table mates. And for those of you women who have won events elsewhere around the world, including Annette Olberstadt, I believe she's in the room. She won the European was it the Grand Championship for
WSOP Europe?
WSOP Europe. And I think she was the youngest person ever to win. Is she here? There she is. And that's and any other women who have shown that determination, the discipline, and the desire that has made them a winner in any major event around the world. Would you please make yourselves known to your table mates? No hiding here. And finally, I would ask every woman here to stand and take a bow. You are a person who is willing to put out the effort to succeed in an environment in which anybody who says that sexism doesn't exist is bluffing. Our biggest problem, however, comes with opportunity. So I'm going to tell you how I faced down that challenge in my first World Series of Poker event, which was the main event in 1986. I arrived at the table, more frightened than I am of being a speaker here in the room. I got to my table, I took my seat with 9 men, every one of whom was a pro. Terry Rogers, a great gambler from Ireland, had made bets on who might win, place, and show, and he graciously indicated that he expected me to come in the very last place of 141 out of 141. I made a side bet with Terry Rogers for $1,000 that I would cash. I figured I only had $1,000 to lose and a wonderful experience to gain. I got to the table, I picked up aces. I've been playing for 10 months. When the flop came with an ace, I figured out how to play a set. I doubled up. I got to the second day with a healthy chip count, above average, and then I met up with a good old Texan across from me as I picked up my jacks. Now anyone who doesn't know that at that time, jacks were not considered such a great hand. But I decided to chance it and I made a raise. And my opponent sat back in his chair, tipped his cowboy hat, and he said, "Honey, how much more money do y'all have?" And I said, "Dealer can count me down." He looked at the dealer, he said, "Count her down." At which point he said, "Honey, I'm going all in on it." The way he said it, the smugness, the confidence, the happiness, the delight that he was about to meet me, showed through and through, and I didn't believe it. I didn't feel as if he needed to make me look small. And I snapped the call. At the end of that hand, he had tens, I had jacks, he was gone. But not forgotten at all. The next man who came to the table sauntered over and he said, "Honey, I think we're going to be playing a pot this afternoon." The dealer said, "Sir, the last guy who's called her honey isn't here anymore." We are here. It is my pleasure to be with all of you. I'm so grateful to all who have made me part of their world, and to the many women here and around the world in poker who've been my friends. Thank you. I now would like to introduce a true champion, our defending World Series of Poker bracelet winner from last year, Jacqueline Scott. And the good thing about a serious champion is you don't have to say so much about them, because they speak for themselves. In her day job, Jacqueline is a very successful real estate broker. That's no surprise to me, because we know that you have to be a risk taker. You've got to be able to read people. We know Jacqueline does both brilliantly, and I am honored to bring her to this podium to greet us formally.
Hi everybody. Whoops, I'm going to talk a little lighter. I'm so delighted to be here. You know, from the time last year when I won the bracelet, I couldn't wait to come back here and be able to say hello to everyone and tell you what a great experience it's been. I want to say that a lot of the dealers that deal in the ladies' event, they choose to deal in the ladies' event because they love it. And we love all of you and all the staff that provide such a great experience. One little story I hope will be inspirational to you is we only start with 5,000 chips, and so a lot of people say, "Oh my God, we have no chips." At the final table last year, I think there was either 3 or 4 of us left. I had 3 big blinds. So never give up and be patient and play your best. The one thing that you're going to notice in the ladies' event, and gentlemen, please excuse me, but I'm speaking from the heart. You're not going to look over to a table next to you and see the crap of some guy's ass getting in the south. I'm just saying. Sometimes you like to see that, but not at the poker table. Secondly, you're not going to hear what a crook Hillary is and how Obama has ruined the country. What I want to say is absolute best of luck to everyone. Thanks for all the great remarks and introducing yourself to me and helping me enjoy this experience. I'm going to do everything I can to bag tonight, and